The man that was Jesus had shown his pure form. Upon a high mountain he stood, transfigured, 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 transfigured in light, that his chosen might see that he was a Christ. A hope of a hope, a joy of a joy, toward thee we aspire, who believe in thy word. This next song is actually the poem of Yogananda's from Whispers from Eternity, God, 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 or God, Christ, Gurus. And Swami Kriyananda put it to music. So please feel free to sing along with me, especially the chorus, which is God, God, God. From the depths of slumber as I ascend the spiral stairways of wakefulness, I will whisper, whisper, God, God, God. Thou art the food, and when I break my fast of nightly separation from thee, I will taste thee and mentally say, God, God, God. No matter where I go, the spotlight of my mind will ever keep turning on thee, and in the battle din of activity, my silent war cry will be God, God, God. When boisterous storms of trial shriek, and when worries howl at me, I will drown their noises, loudly chanting, God, God, God. When my mind weaves dreams, dreams, with threads of memories, on that magic cloth will I emboss, God, God, God. Every night in time of deepest sleep, when my peace dreams and calls joy, joy, my joy comes singing evermore, God, God, God. In waking, eating, working, dreaming, sleeping, serving, meditating, chanting, divinely loving, my soul will constantly hum, unheard by any. God, 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 God,
Now David will play a chant for us, leading us into meditation.
We'll be chanting, I am the bubble, make me the sea.
David and Jackie today. Wonderful. As we prepare for meditation, lift your gaze to the point between the eyebrows. Feel yourself gazing out through the forehead towards infinity. Breathe into the heart center, inviting the expansive consciousness of divine love into the heart, and feeling the energy of the open heart rise up to the Agya chakra, the Christ center, the point of superconscious awareness. As the body inhales, mentally repeat the mantra Hong. And as the body exhales, Sa, meaning I am spirit. I am that which you are, God. We'll meditate for 5 minutes.
Remaining inward, please listen to this week's affirmations for self-healing by Swami Kriyananda. Week 4, energy. Energy is ours not when we hoard our strength, but when we devote it willingly, joyously, towards the attainment of that in which we deeply believe. Faith and energy go hand in hand. If you have deep faith in what you are doing, you can move mountains. Energy is always highest when one's cause is just. The greater one's faith, the greater his willpower. And the greater his willpower, the greater his flow of energy. Repeating after me in a loud voice, commanding the attention of the conscious mind. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do.
Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do.
Behind my every act is God's infinite power.
Behind my every act is God's infinite power.
Now in a conversational tone, within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do.
Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do.
Behind my every act is God's infinite power.
Behind my every act is God's infinite power.
Now taking the affirmation in a whisper, within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do.
Within me lies the energy to accomplish all I will to do.
Behind my every act is God's infinite power.
Behind my every act is God's infinite power.
Taking the affirmation silently, within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. Now bringing the awareness super consciously to the spiritual eye, silently, within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. And the prayer, O cosmic energy, vitalize all the cells in my body, recharge my mind with boundless inspiration, fill my soul with thy inexhaustible joy.
Now we'll have this week's reading.
This is a reading from Rays of the One Light, weekly commentaries on the Bible and the Bhagavad Gita by Swami Kriyananda. Week 4, the Infinite Christ. Truth is one and eternal. Realize oneness with it in your deathless self within. The following commentary is based on the teachings of Paramahansa Yogananda. The Gospel of St. John contains some of the most profound spiritual teachings in the Bible. In the first chapter, many subtle truths are suggested concerning higher states of self-realization. Here, John the Baptist is described as one reaching up toward that high state. He was not that light, the Gospel tells us, but was sent to bear witness of that light. Jesus Christ, by contrast, is described as the light itself. That was the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. He was in the world, and the world was made by him, and the world knew him not. One essential truth stands out in this teaching, that Jesus came not to dogmatize people with a new teaching, but to bring them timeless, universal truths. Disciples saw the Master clothed in human form, and therefore judged him in terms of his greatness, relative to the greatness of other teachers. Wisdom, however, sees the Master's very greatness in terms of cosmic unity. There is a passage in The Path by Swami Kriyananda in which this point is emphasized. The Master, Paramahansa Yogananda, explained, "The saint who attains that exalted consciousness never says, 'I am God.' for he sees it was the vast ocean that became his little wave of ego. The wave, in other words, would not claim when referring to the little self to be the ocean. At this juncture, Debbie, who was present, cried excitedly, "But sir, if you are one with that ocean, that means you are God." "Why I?" Master asked. "Say he is God." "But still, sir, you are one with him, and he's the only reality. That means you too are God." "But this body isn't God. You aren't identified with the body, sir, so one may still say that you are God." "Well, in that case, why do you say you? You too are that." In a discussion of this sort, it's less confusing if we say he. Debbie goes on, "But what's the difference?" "Master, the scriptures say," Master began. "It's only your humility, sir," Debbie broke in, "that makes you distinguish between yourself and him." "How can there be humility when there is no consciousness of ego?" Triumphantly, Debbie cried, "But if you have no ego left, that means you are God." Master laughingly continued the earlier statement which Debbie had interrupted. "The scriptures say, 'He who knows Brahma becomes Brahma.'" "There," cried Debbie, "you said it yourself." Master rejoined, still laughingly, "I didn't say it. It's the scriptures that say so." Master, in other words, would not identify those words with the human body speaking them. It was in his overarching spirit that he saw himself one with the infinite. But Debbie was unable to make this mental leap from a pure expression of infinity to infinity itself. "You quoted those scriptures, sir," he reminded Master relentlessly. "That means you agree with them." Recognizing that the distinction was, perhaps, too subtle for many to grasp, Master concluded, "Well, he who says he is God isn't God. And," he added with a smile, "he who says he isn't." And there the subject rested amidst general laughter. The greater a spiritual teaching, the more greatly we betray it by particularizing it with dogma. Truth itself, not the Christian truth or the Hindu truth, incarnates on earth with the birth of a fully liberated master. As the Bhagavad Gita teaches in the 4th chapter, "Unborn, changeless, Lord of creation, and controller of my cosmic nature, though I am, yet entering nature, I am dressed in the cosmic garment of my own Maya, delusion. O Bharata, whenever virtue declines and vice predominates, I incarnate on earth. Taking visible form, I come to destroy evil and reestablish virtue." Thus, through Holy Scripture, God has spoken to mankind. Om. Om. Om.
Thank you, David. Good morning, everyone. Welcome again. I'd like to start this morning with a beautiful reading from Whispers from Eternity, Yogananda's beautiful book of poem, prayers, and demands. And this is number 156, Demand for the Rising of the Aurora of Intuition. Infinite Spirit, thy presence is hidden equally behind the warm rays of the sun and the cool light of the moon. Those lights, though welcome and wonderful, reveal only Mother Nature's splendor in matter. They reveal not thee. To me, they are therefore darkness. Thy all-revealing, majestic, and supreme light shines not on, but from within, the center of everything, therefore creating no shadows. Shadows in this world reduce light itself to non-light. In theory, I have known this. Now, Lord, take all darkness away from me. Wherever I sit with eyes shut, enclosed in my own darkness, cause to blaze upon me in glory the aurora of intuition that, suffused in its light, I may gaze raptly on thee with worshiping eyes. this right here. So today we're talking about the infinite Christ and infinity and omnipresence, which is a really complicated, difficult concept for us to understand with our intellectual mind and reasoning. When I was in high school, our algebra teacher, Mr. Andoja, brought in an empty shoebox to class one day with a cover on it. And he said, I'd like you to pretend or imagine that the entire universe is in this shoebox, not only our solar system, but all the unknown solar systems, all the galaxies, everything in space is in this shoebox. And he took the cover off and he said, now what's outside? What's around the shoebox? What's it sitting in? And it sounds like such a funny thing, but I was 17 years old and I hadn't really thought about that before. And it actually frightened me. And I just remember that whole week thinking about it, like, well, what is at the edge of the universe? What is beyond what we can see and feel? And even now, sometimes at night, when I look up at the stars, I have that moment because God tells us that the universe is infinite. It's never ending. It's always continuing. And how do we understand that, right? It's very difficult for us to understand that. But what Yogananda is trying to say in this reading today, he's trying to convey this really esoteric concept to his disciples. And what he's saying is that we're not this body, which is temporary, which ages, which succumbs to death and injury and eventually disillusion from death. We're not this mind, which is always thinking. We're always thinking, we're always analyzing, we're always observing and resisting change, which is inevitable in the world. What we are is immortal. We are the soul, which is ever joyful, ever filled with bliss, and ever extensive and expansive in our ability to love and be beacons of peace in the world ourselves. But it's so hard for us because we are in this little cage, basically this little body that we need to be embodied on the earth. And it's so interesting. Yogananda is so sweet in this reading with his devotees. He's kind of laughing and joking. And his disciple, Debbie, really gets hung up on the thought of, I am God. And he really wants Master to sort of fess up, because the beauty of the story is that he can feel Yogananda's magnetism. Imagine being in the room with Yogananda. He can feel his vibration and his expansive qualities. And he knows that he's in a different level than ordinary humanness. He can feel that. So he wants him to admit that he is in that super conscious awareness all the time. But Yogananda understands that to be embodied, there's still a little vestige of ego. So he doesn't want to identify the physical human being, Yogananda, with that great infinite Christ consciousness that he's embodying at all times. And that's a tough one for us to kind of get over. And, in a way, we're all just like that. We're all like Debbie, because we're on this path of self-realization. That's what we're doing, is trying to realize that truth within ourselves, within our daily meditation practices, within our contemplative practices, our devotion, is we're trying to rise above that consciousness of being in the body, which is so very difficult. There's a beautiful story of Krishna and the gopis that really speaks to this concept of omnipresence and infinite Christ and Krishna consciousness. Krishna invited all the gopis to come into a beautiful dance in the forest, which was called the Raslila, which is the play of passion. And the dance itself signifies an intimate and personal relationship between each devotee and the divine. And in the forest, as Krishna played his flute, the gopis came from their homes and they all danced. And Krishna multiplied himself hundreds of times. And everyone was in this beautiful, ecstatic, divine love dance. They were in super conscious awareness. But then very slowly, as the night wore on, each of the individual gopis started to think, how wonderful that Krishna chose me, that Krishna loves me, that Krishna adores me. And that took them from their super conscious awareness and dropped them into ego consciousness. And as soon as that happened, Krishna disappeared. He was gone, and the gopis were alone in the woods. And immediately they realized their mistake, that this love of God is for everybody. God loves us all equally. So we are in the middle, or actually, yes, in the middle of our lessons in meditation course. And I know some of you are here today, which is wonderful. We have a nice big group this year. And we talked about, I think it was the first week, the 3 states of consciousness that we have as human beings. We have the subconscious state, we have our conscious state, and then we have super conscious awareness. And we spend about 95% of our time between subconscious and conscious mind. Our mind is constantly going back and forth, back and forth. And through our practices, sometimes we're able to touch that super conscious state of intuitive awareness and receive divinity in our hearts, in our minds. What we're striving for is to live in that super conscious awareness more fully. You know, that's the awareness that Yogananda was in. That's the awareness that Jesus Christ was in at all times. You know, an example of this, yesterday, the conscious mind makes us so contractive. Yesterday, I was here with Kelly and Kevin, and we were trying to apply for our visa for India. And I thought I knew what I was doing, but we kept hitting a glitch. And I won't get into the details, but it kept happening over and over and over. And I could feel myself getting more and more contractive. And the harder that I tried to think about my way through it, the worse it got. And finally, we just had to quit. And when I was meditating last night, I was sitting, and this is a funny thing, but the problem was the compression of our photo size. And I literally, in this deep relaxation and meditation, I saw a picture of my phone. When you send a photo, you can pick large, medium, small. That's all it was. But it was so simple. But the point of the story was that in that moment of relaxation and meditation, I was able to relax and receive that little clue, you know, and that's how life works for us. The more that we try to think our way through things, usually the more contractive we get. And that was what was happening basically in this story with Debbie, just trying and going around and around, trying to understand that concept, just like myself with trying to understand what's beyond that shoebox. Where does the universe end? What holds the universe? Is there a space outside of it that we don't know about? You know, these are things that we can't understand. In today's reading, Yogananda said, "He who knows Brahma becomes Brahma." And this is a quote from the Upanishads, which is a beautiful Indian scripture. And although the individual soul is one with Brahma or God, through ignorance, through ego, we start to identify more with our body and with the material world. And we have, it's like an obstruction, almost like pulling down blackout shades on the window. You know, that light is in us, it flows through us, it's all around us, but sometimes we just can't see it, we can't feel it, because we do get so embedded in ego consciousness, embedded in this material world. And Yogananda defined the ego as the soul identified with the body. So through our practices, through meditation, that's our foundational practice, and eventually Kriya Yoga, we start to pull that little cork of ignorance out, and we start to feel that energy moving through us and guiding our lives. Yogananda said that physical death alone can't bring us to this state of superconscious awareness. When we leave this body, it doesn't mean we automatically have full understanding of that superconscious infinite Christ consciousness, because we're a work in progress. So everything that we do in this incarnation helps to transform us, to prepare us for that ultimate reality that we're all working towards that, and we'll all end up there someday. But whatever we've collected, so to speak, in this lifetime, we take with us into our death. And then when we are reincarnated, we start where we left off, which is a really beautiful message. So, you know, Yogananda said that no effort goes unnoticed. Like everything we do, even if we have a bad meditation every day, that's progress for us, and that helps us to transcend ego consciousness. So, you know, we were talking about this in meditation class. Don't be discouraged, because we are thinking creatures. Our mind is just like a drunken monkey throwing bananas, you know, and sometimes the calmer we get, we try to calm ourselves in meditation. As soon as we sit, the mind will start to speed up like that. But then eventually, through breathing and taking a little bit of time and concentration, that all starts to recede and go away. Just want to end with talking about John the Baptist. So we're told that Jesus is the true light, which lighteth every man that cometh into the world. And although he himself was of an extraordinarily high consciousness, John the Baptist wasn't completely liberated yet, according to the scriptures, that you could say that he was living in superconscious awareness 95% of the time, where we get to touch it 5% of the time. And that was only because he still had a little tiny bit of ego left to work through in this incarnation. And he had the superconscious ability to see who Jesus was. He recognized Jesus as the light, as the manifested cosmic consciousness of the universe. And Yogananda tells us that in a previous incarnation, if you go into the Old Testament, actually John the Baptist was called Elijah in a previous incarnation, and he was Jesus's guru. Jesus was Elisha. He was the disciple. And when Elijah was preparing to pass on, his disciple, Jesus, Elisha, prayed that he would receive double the mantle of his superconscious awareness. And that's exactly what happened. Elijah granted his disciple to have double of what he had already achieved. And that's how Jesus became Jesus in this incarnation. He came in fully liberated, for the salvation of all of us, to teach us that, through these practices, that we also can become that. He didn't come here to show us that I'm different than you and you'll never be this. He came for the opposite reason. He came to show us that I was exactly like you at one point in my spectrum of lifetimes. And here I am, finally realized. And if you follow these teachings, if you follow me, that you too can become that, because that's our natural state. That's what we're working towards. So that's a very important message in here, is that John the Baptist recognized his guru, and he didn't need to be baptized, or Jesus didn't need to be baptized by John the Baptist, but he did it in allegiance to his guru. It's the way that we honor the person who came and brought us liberation, which is what we do. And Yogananda said that the bond with the guru, once established, is not for one lifetime, it's forever. Even after the disciple has attained spiritual freedom, he acknowledges the guru as the channel through which his liberation came. And that's exactly what Jesus was doing by going out into the desert and finding John and bowing before him and taking that recognition that, thank you for helping me to become this liberated, super conscious, super eternal light in the world. It's so beautiful. And today's last quote from the Bhagavad Gita: O Bharata, whenever virtue declines and vice predominates, I incarnate on earth taking visible form. I come to destroy evil and re-establish virtue. And that's what our line of gurus have done. They've come to earth to help us find our way, to help us realize that we too are that. We too are that light. Debbie wanted Master to say, you are God. And Master would say that we all are part of that. We are. And that once we dissolve the ego and we live fully in that expanded, open consciousness of a loving heart, when we are able to calm our restless mind and receive that super conscious intuitive awareness, we will too become that eventually. That's where we're working to. So just remember that when you have a difficult meditation or a difficult day, just remember to keep coming back to God, keep coming back to center, keep coming back to the light, keep coming back to the love, and then we too will be that as well.
Please take what you would like to give, place it in your right hand, and repeat after me. Divine Mother,
Divine Mother,
we offer to thee the fruit of our labors.
we offer to thee the fruit of our labor.
Bless this offering,
Bless this offering,
that it serve as a channel to thy light,
that it serve as a channel to thy light,
to truth-seeking souls everywhere.
to truth-seeking souls everywhere.
Again, please join me in the chorus of this beautiful song of Yogananda's words, put to music by Maitri from Ananda Village.
You will receive